They start walking towards the car. When I looked at them, they looked at me. One of them was Nip, of course. I had seen him, a few times before that, but not on, nothing like that. But they walking towards the car, him and Jstone, and a few other niggas. I think Paul was with him and a few other niggas who I can't remember. And I grabbed my heat, I cocked it, because I don't know what's up, but I know I'm dolo and I know they kind of deep. So once he get close, he take a CD out of the pocket of his hoodie, and he handed it to me.
Nipsey Hussle went from beef with the game to peacemaker of the West. Beat 1, cold open, Crenshaw Boulevard, daytime Los Angeles, a white Range Rover stuck at a red light in Rollin 60s territory. The driver is Jason Taylor, The Game, blood, cedar block Piru energy, gun already on his lap because he knows what the map is. He did not want this light. He wanted the freeway and a clean exit. The car in front of him does not move. The cars on the sides do not move. The light flips red and freezes him in enemy geography. Across the intersection, Crips on Crips on Crips, they start walking toward the truck. One of them is a young man Game has seen hustling incense and CDs up and down this same strip in every hairstyle the decade allowed. Jerry curl, braids, hustle man before the world learned the government name. Game cocks the heat. The young man gets to the window, reaches in the hoodie, and pulls out a burned CD with a handwritten track list and a phone number on it. Not a pistol, a demo. That is the first chapter of the industry war in this file. Not a blog headline. A blood almost killing a Crip at a stoplight because Los Angeles does not do soft introductions. Then the same blood calling the number, pulling the Crip into the studio, and helping elevate the man who would later tell the whole culture to sit down like men. Episode 1 was the neighborhood war that raised Ermias. Episode 2 is what happens when that same man tries to move through a music business that loves Crenshaw aesthetics and fears Crenshaw obligations. The Game, YG, Meek Mill, peacemaker politics, brotherhood that starts with a cocked hammer and ends at a funeral. If you're new to The Vault, subscribe right now. Drop in the comments whether you think that light could have ended the marathon before it ever got a name. We the mob reading everyone. Beat 2. 2 governments, 1 freeway. To understand why that Range Rover moment almost went tragic, you have to respect the paperwork of the city. The Game is blood. Nipsey is Rollin 60s neighborhood Crip. In national interviews that gets flattened into West Coast flavor. In Los Angeles, it is foreign policy. Episode 1 already filed the 40-year clock between 60 and 8 Trey. This episode adds the other axis. Blood and Crip is not a costume trunk. It is movement rules, old deaths, new suspicions, and a permanent reason to keep steel in your lap at the wrong light. The respect of a man who survived by not being stupid. He understands the capabilities of the city. He cuts through Crenshaw because that is where the life is, the women, the pulse, the long way that still feels like home even when home can kill you. Nipsey is on that same boulevard selling incense, burning discs, writing numbers by hand, doing the pre-streaming version of ownership 1 trunk at a time. So when the circle walks up deep, Game does not assume art, he assumes survival. That is not paranoia, that is literacy. And when the CD comes out instead of a barrel, both men get a second life they did not know they were negotiating. Beat 3. From almost body to studio cosign. Game calls the number. Nipsey pulls up with Big U and Steve Lacy energy in the room. They cut records, they roll, other records. The almost homicide becomes an almost origin story for a West Coast chain of elevation. Game later frames it without shame. He thought he might die at that light. Then he became one of the men who helped push Nipsey into rooms the block alone could not open. That flip matters because it is the template for Nipsey's whole industry doctrine. He does not wait for soft landings. He walks up on risk and converts it into relationship. He hands the culture a product when the culture is reaching for a weapon. That is hustle as diplomacy. But do not romanticize it into a fairy tale. The first language between them is still set language. Blood and Crip, deep and alone. Hammer cocked. The music only wins that day because one man chose a disc over a disaster. Plenty of other corners in that same decade did not get the clean ending. I have watched southern cities run the same almost. One wrong assumption at a light and the whole catalog dies in a police report. Crenshaw just put famous names on the almost. Beat 4. The industry wants the hood photo, not the hood contract. Once Nipsey's name starts traveling, the second war gets clearer. Labels, blogs, and gatekeepers love a real one until the real one still answers to a set. They want the Crenshaw mural energy in the artwork and none of the obligations in the contract. They want the authenticity premium without the politics that authenticity is built on. Nipsey refuses the scrubbed version of himself. Neighborhood stays in the mouth. Slauson stays the headquarters. The store goes up in the same parking lot economy where the trunk used to open.
Niggas that's familiar with Take a look at some dinosaurs, nigga. We dinosaurs, nigga. We extinct, nigga. They dug these bones up, nigga. Understand that? You dig? Look at some dinosaurs, nigga. Look, this is about 6-7 T-Rexes, nigga. Eating, nigga. We hungry, nigga. Dig, carnivores, nigga.
Yes. Get him started, man. So you're back to this interview, and everybody can chime in, man. Let's let us know what this real LA shit is about, man. Repping it from the the sakes of all the movies that was made out here, nigga. All the records, all the history, you know what I'm saying, all the culture, because that's like what the shit is about. A motherfucking white ass producer or wherever he from, whoever he is, they want to come out here and break some bread.
Capitalize on
come tell us his life, you know what I'm saying? Shoot him right here. Say, you look at the script like, nigga, how you know how to say this shit right here? Nigga, what the fuck you get? How you know this shit gonna get me killed or whatever, you know what I'm saying? You right up here, but just touch on that. By being Hollywood, you know, we got the, you know what I'm saying, then you got the streets, like they can turn that shit into like a, what they call it, a historic landmark, you feel me? That's what I feel South Central is when I'm out there. I want to visit and drive down every street and watch this shit, you know?
Music, the same thing going on with all of our culture, whether it's gang banging, whether it's trapping down south, whether it's hip hop, whatever it is, like, you know, if a motherfucker see it as an asset or as a resource, we don't got no means to go get it. You know what I mean? Other than our little pistols and handguns, we got choppers and all that. These niggas got millions of dollars, institutions set up, like the LAPD, like the feds, like the FBI. All this is their army. And they army make it to where you can inflict your will. Meaning if a motherfucker don't want to do it from an agreement, you can come take it. If a nigga don't want to agree and do it verbally, well, you got an army to come enforce your will. So we that's what we lack. You know what I mean? We don't have no army that's gonna come protect our natural resources because our shit is divided. How to where, like, that's why my album is titled South Central State of Mind. Cause we
kids, like, that's what's up. And that ain't even your culture. I can respect LA niggas. I can respect niggas whose cities, that's what they embrace. That's what they grow up under. These niggas, you grow up in this hood, that's what you is. But if you grow up where there ain't no gang banging, and then you become a grown ass man and want to throw a flag up, throw a rag up, I mean, get the fuck out of here, nigga, you fake ass nigga.
Say
nigga.
What?
They say Suwu and all that dumb shit. Them niggas ain't real, man.
Niggas ain't real.
And that's not disrespecting the real.
Yeah, exactly.
But
real talk. I'm talking about strictly fake niggas. If this your culture, this what you grew up in, that's what y'all do. Man, it's all love to y'all. I'm talking about fake niggas, like a nigga that'll grow up in Philadelphia and throw up a red rag or a blue rag. Man, get your get the fuck out of here, nigga. Cause we on war out there over that. We war over green. You feel what I'm saying? And drugs and we don't war over that ain't us. You feel what I'm saying? So do you fake ass niggas that's out here fucking a nigga culture up? What niggas really was raised and grown up, man? Fuck you niggas, man.
That stance creates friction in rooms that prefer orphans, artists with no block, artists who can cosplay danger on Fridays and go home to nowhere on Mondays. Nipsey cannot do that even if he wants to. Episode 1 already explained why. The map owns him as much as he loves the map. So the industry war is not always a named diss record. Sometimes it is meetings that go cold. Sometimes it is people who only want the record and not the infrastructure. Sometimes it is older stars measuring the new one. Sometimes it is the quiet question under every cosign. Is this man a brand partner or a liability with a government? Nipsey answers by building all money in, by pricing his own mixtape economy, by making ownership the punchline instead of the guest verse. He turns the industry's fear into a business model. Subscribe in the middle if you locked. Comment whether you think the machine ever truly wanted Nipsey free or only wanted him marketable. I want that ballot straight. Beat 5. YG, Blood and Crip, and the politician in the set. If Game is the almost fatal introduction, YG is the long proof of concept. YG is Blood. Nipsey is Crip. On paper, that bond is not supposed to look like big bro and little bro in public. In practice, Nipsey treats cross-set relationship like statecraft. YG later breaks it down in plain street English. Nip was a politician and a gangsta, not instead of. Both. He wanted the message to hit gang culture, not just playlist culture. He wanted impact inside the same world that taught him the rules. That is a different job than rapper. That is mayor work without a city paycheck. Translating Blood and Crip egos into collaboration without getting either side smoked for the photo. Building trust heavy enough that a Blood can call a Rollin 60s Crip big bro and the street reads it as earned, not internet.
I'm a thug featuring MeekMill, my nigga Nip came through.
Yeah, shout out to Meek. We out here in shout out to all the treetop niggas showing a nigga 100% love. My nigga YG video shoot.
Hey, we got neighborhood Nip in the treetop. Hey, boy, nigga. Nigga, Nip, every Nip guy I got. Fuck it, nigga. Treetop, nigga.
When people call Nipsey a bridge, this is the bridge, not a slogan. A man standing in gun geography, talking business, loyalty, and future in the same breath. Episode 1 showed why that skill was rare. Episode 3 will show why that skill was also dangerous. Bridges catch traffic from both sides. Beat 6, Meek, Game, and Sit Down Like Men. September 2016. The culture is gassing a Game versus MeekMill war like Bloodsport content. Nipsey does not grab popcorn. He grabs the adult position in public. Hip-hop need to stop gassing this beef. If somebody wrong, handle it. Sit down like men. The point is not soft. The point is anti-circus. He has watched enough real funerals to know the difference between sport and body bags. He has lived the version of conflict that does not end in timelines. It ends in mothers. After Nipsey is gone, Game tells the story on his own Instagram grief clock. Nipsey had encouraged him to squash that Meek tension, not for clout, for elevation, for the same doctrine Nipsey preached on wax and in parking lots. Stop performing war for people who will not catch a bullet with you. That is the Peacemaker chapter people quote in murals. This file needs the harder reading. A peacemaker from Crenshaw is not a man who hates conflict. He is a man who has seen the bill. He knows which beefs are business, which beefs are ego, and which beefs are old set clocks still collecting. He spends his capital trying to shut the ones that only feed the algorithm. The West does not always listen, but the attempt becomes part of his government name.
Beat 7. Chalice parking lot to Melrose Tears. Game's last living memory of Nipsey is not a stage. It is a parking lot at Chalice. Maybach lean. Hit boy in the building. Two men talking about how to elevate past the kind of problems that render you helpless. That conversation is the doctrine in street clothes. How do we get above the thing that keeps killing us? Then March 31st, 2019. Game hears shooting first, not death. In Los Angeles, logic that distinction matters. People get shot and live. Pac got shot and lived the first time. Homies are right there. Ambulances exist. For a few minutes, the mind bargains. Then the reports harden. Hospital, gone. 33 years old. In front of the store. In the hood he refused to quit. By somebody from the same overall umbrella. Episode 3 has to autopsy. Game walks outside, sits on the stairs to his pool, looks at the sky, and cries real tears for a man he once almost shot over a red light. He goes to the funeral and says it does not feel right in his chest. He puts Nipsey in permanent ink on his face and body, like a man trying to keep a brother from becoming only a headline. He pulls up to the memorial in a Lamborghini with Nipsey's mural on the hood because grief in this culture is public whether you want it or not. Blood tears for a Crip. That sentence alone is the industry war turning into human weather.
Driving down Slauson, man. Driving down Slauson, 4 in the morning, man. Cause I can't sleep behind what happened to Nip, man. Why niggas do the homie like that, man? At his own motherfucking stop. In his own fucking hood, man. Just try to do good for niggas, man. Shit crazy, man. I can't even fucking sleep, man. I'm disgusted by this shit. That's how y'all do the homie? In his own city, in his own hood, at his own place of business. That's how niggas do niggas, man. LA on some bullshit, homie.
Beat 8. What episode 2? Convicts episode 1 convicted the neighborhood war. 40 years, 60 versus 8 Trey. A boy raised inside the blast radius. Episode 2 convicts the industry war as a double bind. Nipsey enters the music business through a moment that could have been a homicide and becomes instead a collaboration. He builds bonds across blood and Crip lines with Game and YG that the old rules say should not hold. He uses public capital to talk grown men out of content beefs that the machine wants to monetize. He refuses to launder Crenshaw out of his product for softer meetings, and still the same city that applauds the peacemaker cannot protect him from the closer war, the inside war, the one where the threat does not need a rival color to load the clip. So who won the industry war? Nipsey did, on paper. VictoryLap, ownership myth proven, bridges built, funeral attended by the same industry that never fully knew what to do with him alive. But winning the industry war means nothing if the neighborhood clock and the set clock still have your name in the mouth. That is the handoff to episode 3. Beat 9, Human Weight. Here's what this chapter leaves on the table. A blood in a Range Rover almost ends a Crip over a light, then helps build him, then buries him. A younger blood from another part of the map calls that same Crip big bro and means it. A whole culture quotes Peacemaker after the fact, while replaying the same beef circus he tried to shame into silence. I am from Nashville, TN. I done seen men become referees in circles that only respect whistles until the whistle gets inconvenient. Nipsey tried to call fouls in a game that pays better when nobody listens. That is not naivete. That is courage with a body count risk attached. He handed Game a CD when Game had a gun ready. He handed the culture a sit-down when the culture wanted a face-off. He handed Crenshaw a store when Crenshaw was used to only being a set piece. Episode 3 is the invoice for all that handing. Why the Rollin 60s temperature turned. Why Eric Holder. Why the inside war finished what the outside wars never could. We the mob. Subscribe if you rode the full file. Like it, so a twin who only knows the mural learns the red light and the cocked hammer under the brotherhood. Comment the moment that sat on you. The CD, the Meek sit down, the Chalice parking lot, or Game on the pool stairs looking at the sky. Episode 3 closes the season.